A glimpse of the crypto economy at El Salvador's Bitcoin beach. El Salvador has declared a state of emergency. After El Salvador's Congress declared Bitcoin legal cash earlier this week, all eyes were on this remote fishing community on the Pacific coast. El Zonte, known to surfers for its pounding waves, has had Bitcoin in its economy for the past year. Some 500 fishing and farming households use Bitcoin to buy groceries and pay utilities, which the government hopes to expand to the rest of the country. Bitcoin was already allowed in El Salvador, but acceptance was voluntary, so legislation passed late Tuesday now mandates all businesses, even those without the capability, to accept Bitcoin payments. El Zonte's Bitcoin economy 26 miles, 43 kilometers, from the capital was made possible by an unidentified donor who began working with a local non-profit organization in 2019. Supporters of the financial reform point to it as an example of how digital money may help in a country where 70% of people do not have bank accounts. President Nayib Bukele, who pushed the Bitcoin law through, touts it as a way to help the many Salvadorans who lack access to traditional banking services, as well as a way to attract foreigners with Bitcoin holdings to invest in El Salvador, which is the first country to make the cryptocurrency legal tender. Experts are attempting to determine why Bukele is promoting Bitcoin. According to them, it is unclear how the extremely volatile cryptocurrency can be a viable choice for the unbanked, and only time will tell if the new system will result in genuine investment in El Salvador. Bitcoin, designed as an alternative to government-backed money, is based mostly on complex math, data scrambling cryptography, hence the term cryptocurrency, a significant amount of processing power, and a distributed global ledger known as the blockchain, which records all transactions. No central bank or other entity has any influence in its value, which is determined exclusively by those who trade Bitcoin, and its value has fluctuated dramatically over time. Hilario Galvez, a construction worker in El Zonte, went into Tienda Mara this week to get a soda and food to share with his friends. Instead of pulling out his cash, he used an app on his phone to pay. Mara del Carmen Aviles, the store's namesake, claims to be a specialist in Bitcoin transactions. When a customer comes in, I ask him if he wants to pay using the app or in cash. The majority of people pay via the Bitcoin Beach app. I search for it on my phone to charge them. It takes no more than 2 minutes. It's easier than paying bills, Galvez explained. I can buy from the comfort of my own home, complete the transaction with the Bitcoin Beach app, and then just come to pick up what I require. The volatility of Bitcoin, according to Aviles, can be an issue. When people ask if I advocate Bitcoin, I tell them I've won but also lost, Aviles explained. When Bitcoin touched $60,000, I won and bought this chilled area for the store, but then it dropped and I lost. In El Zonte, Roman Martinez was a pioneer in the use of Bitcoin. He stated that the anonymous American contributor learned about community projects through the NGO Hope House, where he works, and began working through another American who lives in El Zonte. Strike, a Chicago-based startup that has been collaborating with Bukele's administration on the statewide Bitcoin launch, shares a building with Hope House. The Associated Press request to interview Strike CEO Jack Mallers was denied. Strike's app is aimed to empower people in all countries, widen the financial system to include those who have been excluded, and increase economic opportunity around the world, the business said in an email. El Salvador has used the US dollar as its official currency since 2001, and Strike believes that adopting Bitcoin as legal tender will help minimize the country's reliance on the decisions of a foreign central bank. Martinez stated that residents of El Zonte did not have bank accounts, did not have access to credit, and were compelled to conduct all transactions in cash. They are now modest investors whose lives have been revolutionized by Bitcoin, he explained. Some people are skeptical about how much can be learned from the Bitcoin beach experiment. El Zonte, according to David Gerard, author of Attack of the 50-Foot Blockchain, is a fabricated display. The Bitcoins are traded inside Strike, he explained at Bitcoin Beach. They don't truly move on the Bitcoin blockchain. Gerard stated that it looks to operate because the Bitcoin contributor continues to deposit Bitcoin into the village's system. That isn't a working proof of concept. This demonstrates that you can trade these things even if you aren't exchanging genuine Bitcoins and someone is significantly subsidizing it. Adoption had been gradual in El Zonte before the coronavirus outbreak, when severe lockdown measures prevented most individuals from leaving their homes. Our contributor sent 3 deliveries of $40 in Bitcoin for each of the community's 500 families, and they were trained to use the program, and now it's common to buy with Bitcoin, Martinez explained. El Zonte even offers a Bitcoin ATM that exchanges dollars for Bitcoin or accepts dollars and gives credit in Bitcoin. Edgar Magar had come all the way from El Salvador to convert $50 to Bitcoin. He entered the dollars into the machine and was astonished to see only $47 in Bitcoin fractions sent to his phone account. They took a $3 commission, Magar explained, adding that he had assumed there was no commission. It's the same as in a bank. Bukele stated that the government would establish a $150 million fund to allow those receiving Bitcoin payments to promptly change them to dollars, lessening the danger of keeping the volatile digital currency. Jessica Vilas, who owns the El Zonte shop where the ATM is located, claims that some locals are already receiving Bitcoin remittances from outside. Last year, Salvadorans received approximately $6 billion in remittances from relatives living abroad, primarily in the United States. Bukele has stated that using Bitcoin might reduce the cost of sending money home. Not everyone in El Zonte agrees with the concept. Customers at Aulas Permanence, one of the town's most prominent restaurants, have been able to purchase with Bitcoin. However, when questioned if they use it, the waitstaff unanimously stated that they do not. Some claimed they lacked the higher-end telephones required to download the program, while others expressed skepticism about its functionality. They pay me in dollars and cash, said one waitress who did not want to be identified. A woman named Teresita was asked if she used Bitcoin while walking through town. "Not for me, I want to have the bills," she explained. We hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this video. Please let us know your opinion in the comments area below. If you found our content useful, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more crypto-related contents.